Okay, in this question, Corey's driving at a constant speed from her home to Sudbury. Alright, so here's her home, and she's going to drive all the way to Sudbury. Just as she starts to drive, she sees that there's a sign that says Sudbury is 540 kilometers away. So we know that this total distance here is 540 kilometers. Next, she drives for 2 hours, and she sees there's another sign that says that Sudbury is 360 kilometers away. Okay, so let's put that sign here, and that tells us that from that sign to Sudbury is 360 kilometers. Then we're told that she continues driving at the same speed, that constant speed, and then we have to determine how much time it will take for Corey to drive to Sudbury from the second sign, from here to here. Okay, so they tell us that she continues driving at the same speed, so let's see if we can figure out the speed. And we know that speed is equal to distance divided by time. If you weren't sure about this formula, just think about speed. If you think about traveling on the highway at, say, 100 kilometers per hour, if you look at kilometers per hour, kilometers is a distance, and hour is a time, therefore we know that the formula is distance divided by time. So to find her speed, we need to know a distance she traveled in a certain amount of time. Well, if we look at our diagram up here, if this from her home to Sudbury is 540 kilometers, and from this sign to Sudbury is 360 kilometers, we can figure out how much distance it is from her home to the sign by subtracting these two numbers. Okay, so 540 minus 360, that would give us 0, carry a 1 from there. That would be 14 minus 6 is 8, 4 minus 3 is 1. So we know that this distance here is 180 kilometers. Now, we're told that she drives for 2 hours to cover this 180 kilometer distance till she gets to that sign. So what we can do is substitute that into our equation, and we know, therefore, that the distance she traveled in the first part is 180 kilometers, and she did that over 2 hours. And 180 divided by 2 is 90, and that would be her 90 kilometers per hour. We're told then that she continues driving at the same speed to Sudbury, so she's going at the same speed from here all the way to Sudbury. So we have to figure out how long it's going to take her at 90 kilometers an hour to cover the 360 kilometers. Well, if we want to know time, then we need to rearrange this formula and solve for t. Okay, so let's put in speed again as distance over time. And we know that the distance she's going to cover is 360 kilometers for the second part of the trip. So we can replace the d here with 360. We also know that she's going to continue driving at the same speed, so she's going to continue driving at 90 kilometers an hour. So we can replace the s here with 90. So now we get to solve for t, and that'll tell us the time. So to solve for t, we need to get rid of it as a fraction. So we multiply both sides by t. And on this side, we'll see that the t's cancel. And on the left side, we'll get 90 times t equals 360. Now we have to get rid of the 90, so what we do is we divide both sides by 90. So we'll divide that by 90, divide that side by 90, and again we'll see that the 90s cancel, and that would leave us here, so t would be 360 divided by 90, which is 4. We could simplify it a little bit, the zeros would cancel, and 36 divided by 9 is 4. So it'll take Corey 4 hours to cover the second part of the journey from this sign to Sudbury. And when we look down our list of options, D is the right answer.